But you have to work with the people that are in, and again, that also requires working across the aisle. We can't have an adversarial relationship with the governor simply because the governor is a Republican, and for
Right.
that matter, the president, because we need those resources in a city that's struggling. So it's to our advantage to have as good of a relationship with whomever are in those positions because we need those resources to really pull a struggling city up and out of the mess that it's been in. But you have to work with the folks, but you set the tone, you set the culture, and you can look at coaches that come in and inherit teams that could be the bad news bears. And that coach is the person that can motivate everybody and get them on the same sheet of music to help push forward an agenda. Of course, it's going to be challenging, and that doesn't change overnight. But you have to work with people, and that was my thing when I was running as well. Got to work with these folks, and there's happy medians everywhere. There's some people that are staunchly for certain things, and they're very linear in what they're staunch for. That I personally agree with. If we sat down at the table and stopped going to Twitter like children and discussed it, we probably would get much further than we actually are getting by not having these conversations. So I think we need an adult in the room. We need somebody who can bring people together and really find that happy median. And we have to check ourselves. And remember, when I was a law enforcement officer, I would remind young officers, when you have a bad day, think of that moment when you got hired or you went through the interview process and the question was posed to you, why do you want to do this job? And you said, 99% of the people, to help people. That's what you say. Remember that. On the hardest day, remember what you're in this for. And elected officials have to check that at the door as well and say, why am I doing this? To help people, to advance the agenda of Baltimoreans. And we shouldn't govern in Baltimore like we're seeing nationally, where the president is governing for simply his base and not for the rest of the country. He's not trying to govern for Democrats. He's trying to govern simply for his base. And that's not how you govern. I didn't want to govern for people who voted for me. I wanted to govern for everyone and bring you in and say, yeah, you were right. I'm sorry. I was wrong not to vote for you. That's a great seal of approval, a stamp of approval for me.